begin the drive with Hill. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. For Jeremy Hill, with the season in the rearview mirror, finished just below 1,000 yards. I think 18th in the league in rushing. And his 2 100-yard games both came against Cleveland, I believe.
Yeah, if he could play Cleveland each and every week, he would have been well over 1,000 yards. So the thing about Jeremy Hill in the Cincinnati Bengals offense, you think of them as a run-first team. So to me, his 889 yards, disappointing, because I would have thought that would be a higher number and an increased production from him. He's looking to do that in 2017.
Again, it's Hill, and he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And able to find Green. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well, because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Hill, the lone setback. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got a baby staying with the ground game.
So now here in Super Bowl 51. Plenty of scoring here already. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the offense puts the ball on the ground, but they pick it back up. Now they face a 3rd down. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this off 35.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now a first down carry. It's Hill working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Second down, Dalton. Green with a catch left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Partner, I was working the Buffalo game when A.J. Green got hurt on, I believe, the second snap and never came back. A hamstring injury, couldn't finish the season, fell just short of 1,000 yards, which is something he does each and every year.
And that broke his streak of 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. So you're right, he does do it every year. That was Week 11 against Buffalo, wasn't it?
Week 11, unable to make it back, but still voted to the Pro Bowl.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. On second down, Hill. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
3rd down from the gun, Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. This will be, 38 yards out. And Bullock will put this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team, helps them start their comeback.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And now here come the Ravens. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
The drive begins with a handoff to West. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They'll run again here with West. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Super Bowl 51 after this. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. He's got time in the pocket. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, and that brings up fourth down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. They do snap it. Flacco now. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ray Malaluga coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Well, it's gutsy to go for it in the red zone. The problem there is they were in their own red zone. Why in the world did they do that?
They must have thought they had the exact play call that they needed to go a big way. And I'm still not even buying that one. I'm reaching on
You're
that
searching.
one. Actually reaching. But I do know this. On the other side of the field, that coaching staff is screaming at their defense. If you don't handle this one right here, this is a great opportunity for us. Take it away, guys. And they did.
And now excellent field position.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That'll give them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down. And
he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Dalton on third and goal. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And Bullock will put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they had great field position, but a three-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a three-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Bengals defense getting ready to go again. The crew that got the stop last time led to 3 points. Well, that was good, but they're probably thinking, hey, we'll get you the stop again offense. You get us a touchdown here.
Just add to the points total, right? But the defense has to have a ton of confidence. Someone goes for it against you on their own side of the 50. No. Stuff them, turn over the offense, and you're right. They'll take 3 on the first time. They do it again, though. They expect a touchdown.
Yeah, but first they've got to do it. Let's see if they can. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
On the ground, it's West again. They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Terrence West, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now, here come the Bengals. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing your territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
1 receiver left, 2 to the right.
380.
Dalton, 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock. Less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They come up in an offset eye. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's Kevin Huber now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Campanaro on the return. What a spin. So as the set designers rush out here to get us ready for the spectacle to come at intermission, these 2 teams will head to the locker room in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Ravens want to continue to give their fans something to cheer about in the second half. The Bengals haven't played horribly, but will need to improve if they want to win this one. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Ravens split possession halfway through 1. Flacco's got the completion here, and after the long pass, he'll score. That puts them on top by 14. Now to late in the second. Maluga's got the sack here. Staying late in the second. West is able to get away with the stiff arm, And this two-play drive goes for a TD. The lead grows to 15.
All right, Larry, these two teams back out there as we get set and ready for this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
It's already second and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. They run it again with Hill. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Dalton now to pass. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take...
Oh, and now West lost the football. It's out, and the Bengals grab it. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. They come out here in the eye. Now West. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. The veteran Carlos Dansby in on the stop. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go. They'll run for it with West. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And the Bengals will get the football back. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's the surprise, because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped. And they got it done on that play.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Hill, the lone setback. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They go play action here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
While we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. Incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd down. Ten yards to go on 3rd. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call or get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Tucker to add the PAT. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Ravens defense now as they get ready for the next possession. And they got to be feeling good about forcing that long missed field goal the last go-around.
And you know what upsets a kicker more than anything? Is missing a kick they think they can make and feeling like the other side believes that they had something to do with it. And it doesn't matter to those guys on defense. I know. They're taking full credit. Yep, we forced him into the miss, and they're going to ride that confidence the rest of the way. We'll see if the kicker's able to get his confidence back as well.
They'll try to get the offense going with Hill. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
And Dalton hands to Hill. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Third down from the gun. Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And this defense has been extraordinary all season, and that might just be the cherry on top. What a play there on the fumble recovery touchdown.
Maybe it's time they get a nickname because they've played like the great defenses of the past. The Steel Curtain, Doomsday, the no-name defense. We might have to come up with one for these guys.
Tucker now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A first down throw coming for Dalton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball and just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just kind of catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving. And sometimes that shows up on plays like this.
They'll come out in the pistol. Dalton with a give to Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down. One quarter remains in Super Bowl 51. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And this offensive unit, they have to face a third down and 12 now. Dalton here from the gun. Wide open receiver complete. The 40. He's at the 30. 20. 10. 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
Dalton throwing on second down. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Brandon LaFell from 6 yards away. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he bangs it home. It makes it now 35-13 our score. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
So second and 10 here. On second down, Flacco to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Fresh set of downs here. They come up in an offset eye. On the toss, there goes Wentz. Down to the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll run it with West. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Here's West. Still on his feet. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. So it'll be first down here after the run. This is West. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
2nd and goal to go now. And on the ground they go with the running back. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
They'll try to pound it in with West. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Terrence West with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Tucker now to add the point after. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. A dump off now to Hill. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Here we go with 2nd and 7. The play fake to Hill. Dalton under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Dalton dial up. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Now Campanaro. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will change here with very little time remaining in this contest. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. How about this? Flacco setting to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Second down here after the incomplete pass.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. He's going to take another shot here. And it's incomplete. It's still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. And it's all over. Just one is left standing, and that one is the Baltimore Ravens, your Super Bowl champions. Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next Sports.